My name's Kirsty. I'm one of the organisers for NHS Workers United for Scotland. I'm also a J&B rep, and I'm here really just to say to you that the NHS is on its knees. NHS is completely broken, and it's not just the NHS as an establishment. Staff within the NHS feel exactly the same way. I am at the stage of my career where I don't know how much more I've got to give, and that scares me, but it also makes me sad, because when I started my journey with the NHS I always wanted to be a nurse, and it's funny, I found a bucket list of many moons ago I wrote as a child, and being a nurse was one of the things on the list. But it's just quite sad now that I'm at the stage where I'm thinking, do I really want to be a nurse anymore? Do I really want to do this? And it's all because the government has driven the NHS into the ground. Now we know who to blame. It's not our managers, it's not anybody that's working within the building. It's the NHS as our employers. And as our employers, they knowingly stood back while we ran headlong into COVID. Now these problems have been here before COVID, but the fact was we went and we turned up for our jobs. We put our health at risk, our families' health at risk. I have colleagues that chose to stay in hotels rather than actually take the chance of going home to their families with COVID. And although we're not doing extreme things like that anymore, what we are still doing is worrying about it. We are still worried about taking it home. And the government's telling everybody, oh, it's fine. NHS is absolutely fine, don't you worry, we'll get everything back on track, we'll get operations up and running. But I don't see how they can without the staff. They tell us that they've got so many nurses from abroad that none of us have seen. They tell us that they've got brand new nurses. Yeah, we might have brand new nurses. But the problem is, unfortunately, they've been put in a position of walking into a job that they are not prepared for. And the nurses that are there are expected to train these new nurses. So at which point is somebody looking after a patient? That's what I would like to know. Because when you've got one nurse on a ward of 30, and the thing is, it's just a number. Because they might have two nurses on, but one of those nurses might be that nurse that was a university student 2 months ago. So they never take things like that into account. All they're looking at is numbers. And that's what the government's looking at. They're saying, have you met your targets? And I'm sorry, but patients come before targets. And if my patients need stuff done before they move on, then that's what they get. But yeah, I have to say, will I turn up for my next shift? Yes, of course I will. Because that's what we've done for 2.5 years. That's what I've done all my career. Will I be dragging my heels? You better believe I will. So all I ask from the Scottish Government is to hear us out. 5% is not a pay rise, it's a pay cut. And inflation's sitting at 9 point something. And the longer you take to sit down and talk to unions about this, the higher inflation's going to be. But we want an above inflation pay rise, above a cost of living pay rise, because otherwise nobody's going to be able to afford to work for the NHS. And where's that going to be in your independent Scotland?